Now, talking exactly what is most important, which are our mobile applications here in Kony. And as you can see, there are 4 different applications that we are delivering to be able to address these different business processes that we described. So I'm gonna talk about each one of these different applications, but what is important to highlight all of them. First, all of them are built using the Kony platform. So the benefit of having not just a mobile application but also a platform, it means that companies can take advantage of the benefits of these 2 different types of offers. You have the benefit of having an application that is pre-built with a lot of configurations, a very good user experience, real-time capabilities, already pre-built that you can use even as is if you want. But knowing that we built this application here in Kony using our platform, and with this capability you can be assured that it's gonna have a long-term evolution for this application, you're gonna have multi-channel capability, you're gonna have the best way to create your application using our winning platform here at Kony. The other feature that I want to mention about all the apps is that they are offline basis. So all of them runs no matter if you are online or offline, which is very important in this industry because you want to make sure that your technician, your customer, your scheduler are always up to date with the information, but they can also work in an offline way and synchronize the data when it's required, which is very important in knowing that the network is not available all the time. The third point that I want to highlight is the UI UX of our application. UI, user interface, UX, user experience. So we invested a lot here in Kony to make sure that we have the best user experience and the best user interface in the application in order to make sure we have the best use case for this. So let's take a look in each one of these applications in separate. So the first application is MyService, and MyService is an application that is focused on a customer. So it's a B2C application that we are delivering here as part of our solution. So what does it mean as a B2C application? How does it work in this case? So imagine you are a customer. And imagine that you are buying a product for your company and you want to be able to interact with your company by yourself with your mobile application. So how many companies you know that have this capability nowadays? 2%, 3% of them? A lot of them provides a website, but a website is not a mobile application. Mobile application, you need to have an offline capability, you need to have a native application, and you need to have features that make sense for this customer. And that's what we are delivering with MyServices. And the benefit of this is we want to be able to transform the way that the companies interact with the customers. We want to be able to implement what we are calling the Uber expectations of customers in the field services. So customers can be on top of the business process, driving the execution of their work order fast as never before. Features that we have in this application, and you have some of them here highlighting the slides, but this is just a small set of it. Our view on MyService is we want to be able to provide several features that will help the customer having more self-service features, self-service capabilities in order to execute the execution. And as a company perspective, what does it matter from the company? First, you increase your profitability because as customers are able to execute more of their services they request by themselves, it means that you need less people in the back end to support the customers. But this is just for a very cost perspective. But in the end, the main benefit of this application is you're gonna have a very satisfied customers. Customers that are satisfied means that they are continuing to be your customer, you reduce your churn, and you have a better process in this case. So this is a key application in our perspective. And you see that when you are thinking about a field service application, the first thing that comes to your mind is I need an order execution application for my technician. And this is not our main focus here at Kony. It highlights how we believe we can transform the industry in this case. The second of the applications is what we call notification manager. So you are in the field as a technician, so this application, the persona is a technician, and you need to be able to understand what you need to do in the field. No matter if it is a request that is coming from a backend, or even if you are capturing a request directly in the field. The point of a notification manager is to enable your service organization in the field to be able to interact with these requests in the field and be able to then assign this to the right persona or accept the work and be able to execute, and as I mentioned, even to be able to create a new request in this case. So just to highlight an example for you in this is customer using MyService application, they could be creating a request. This request then is going to be created as a new notification in Notification Manager for the technician. There is already in the area of that customer. In this specific process, it might take seconds, because customer will create the request by themselves. When the customer submit the request, our solution will identify who is the technician close to that location, or who are the technicians close to the location, send a notification to all these technicians. That first one that will pick then will be able to already assign to himself and plan when he wants to execute that specific service request with that specific customer. All of this without any interaction with the backend. All of this happening in the field, but of course having the visibility in all the time to the backend in this case. The same scenario happens with the IoT sensor. So you could have an IoT sensor reporting a problem, and this problem will be transformed in a notification in our solution, and then the technicians or the engineering close to that specific problem, that specific asset, will be able to get and go there and solve the problem as well. So see different examples for you to highlight what we are talking here of the transformation, and most of all, how we can reduce steps that should take hours, days, eventually weeks, in few seconds in the way we are doing. The third of the apps is Plan and Track. Plan and Track is an application that, as the main persona behind it, is gonna be a scheduler. So a scheduler can go in this application and be able to plan the execution and track the execution at the same time in the same interface. I know some of you may think, okay, but I already have my backend for that, and it's fine, because this is another very positive side of the way we are doing our applications. Every app is dependent of each other, so you can get one of them, you can get two of them, or you can get the full solution. It depends on what is important for you and not what we want to sell to you. So we want to make sure that you as a customer, you can identify the app that suits better for your requirements and use the ones that you want. And if you want to use your current solution, backend solution for planning, not a problem, go ahead. But one of the use cases that I was talking a few days ago with a customer is about third-party contractors. Several companies nowadays are outsourcing their execution for third-party contractors, and one of the problems that they see is how they share the work with these third-party contractors, and how they, most importantly, track the execution with these third-party contractors. And here's where Plan and Track has a very good fit as well, because your third-party contractor, they could be using the Plan and Track application, manager, the owner, depending on the size of the third-party company, they could be using this application and receiving the work orders that are raised by your company directly in their own hands in the field, and they can then plan and track the execution by themselves. And what is important for your company is not only you have a solution to share the work with your third-party contractors, your partners, but you also have in real-time updates of this execution. So you know if the third-party contractor received that request, you know if he assigned some of his technicians to go there and execute, you know if the technician is executing or not, and you know when it's completed. So think yourself, if that's a scenario that fits in your case, in your current business process, think about how we can transform it again and make it faster, much more efficient in this case. Now the last of the applications, order execution, which by the way is the most important application, which has the persona as the technician, as the engineer. No matter if we are talking about order executions, work orders, service orders, maintenance orders. All the different types of the orders fit in the way that we structure this application, because that's the benefit the way we are doing. We are doing a single app that can run with different types of business process, in this case, adapting itself to your scenario. And in here you can, as a technician, see the work orders that are assigned to you. You can even see work orders that are not assigned, and you can then accept them in the scenario that your company runs. Like this scenario, you have technicians that eventually don't have a work, and they can go make the self-assignment as well. One way or another, they can see the work orders, the service orders, they can then manipulate these orders, they can see the tasks that they need to execute within that specific order. Tasks could be an operation, a confirmation, a measurement, inspection, different types of tasks that they have. It can even be a survey if you want to make for some reason a survey, or a security checklist. So different types of tasks that you can execute in that specific order in your execution. And what is important, you also have during all time the visibility on the resources, the materials, the parts that are required to execute that specific order. So a very important feature as well, because with this capability we are helping our customers to have a better management of the inventory of their resources and try to reduce the loss at the same time as you have a tracking on what's going on with your investment in assets and materials and resources in a more generic way. One important information about all these apps, as I mentioned, all of them are connected. So if you are using all the solutions or a portion of the solutions, what is important here is the information keeps going between the apps in all the time. All the time we have, for example, if a technician accepts a work order or if they start a work order, this event of starting a work order will notify the supervisor in Plan & Track, they will notify the customers in MyService automatically without any human interaction. Everything is automatically running in the application. So see again the benefit of this, because you can implement a real-time flow, a real-time access to the application based on events that technicians are doing and not based on other kind of actions that you need to take in the application. This is a fast summary of all the 4 apps. I think I proved by this time how we can transform the organizations, the field service organizations, with these apps. And all of them run on top of some common elements. So 5 of these 5 common things that we have here between the apps. As I mentioned, a mobile first real experience. So using capabilities from the device, like for example, Touch ID to sign in the application, capturing the device's geolocation, barcode reading, capturing images. All of these are really good examples of mobile first features that we are using in our application. Voice to text automatically, even the voice recognition now that Siri with Apple and Google are releasing, we are adding this capability as well. So a lot of good features to enable a better execution in the field when you are talking about a mobile device, but even when you are talking about wearables or IoT sensors as different technology that can also improve this mobile first experience in the app. That's the first point. The second one, as I mentioned several times so far, is the perspective of having a real-time up-to-date information. So all the time, as I mentioned, the data, the information flows between the different personas, between the different applications, updating all the time the backend in this case. So this is very important here as well. The third one is all of them built with a single platform, Kony mobile platform. So for you in IT seeing this video, what does it mean for you? It means that you are managing a single technology, a technology that is a leader in the industry, one of the most important platform in the mobile industry, and you're gonna be able to take the benefit of all of this. Fourth topic is agile and quick implementation. So we as a product, we are running in an agile methodology. So every 3 months we have a new release of the application with new features coming that you can take benefit of that if you want. And even for your implementation, you can leverage on this, implement different modules, having short implementation cycles to have a better result to your business in this case. And last, of course, connect directly with your customers using the MyService app that I explained to you a few minutes ago.
It's not about one app. It's about the entire business process. It's about transforming your field service organization. It's about being powered by the Kony platform.